after that, watching that last series, it's very hard to not start thinking about the entirety of this tournament and start trying to figure out just where Vici really does sit, because they made EG look like soft bread, honestly, and they pulled them apart, Grant.
Oh, for sure. They looked like mincemeat. It's crazy to think it's pretty obvious now the two best teams were in the same group. Earlier, it's just been straight up Secret and Vici Gaming. They look a tier above everyone else right now.
Yeah, I think one of the things that you started to say as well, and obviously we're going to be talking about Secret in a little bit there in the next series versus Alliance, but we want to break down that last one first. But you were starting to say that you think Secret might even be just a cut above slightly of Vici right now.
Yeah, I think so. But after like that series, right, man, they made EG, they just played their own style. They made EG never comfortable. And Vici Gaming, man, they look in prime form again.
Well, that's what's absolutely crazy about that interview, right? When they got interviewed, Vici Gaming said, you know, we're not really playing up to our standards right now. We could use a little bit more work. But then you see these games, and it's ridiculous.
Well, that begs to ask the question if maybe they felt that pressure from Secret as well, and if they're trying to make sure that they're not maybe a little bit behind the best team. Their sights are definitely, at this point in the tournament, not on beating EG, but winning the entirety of this major. But let's talk about that last game in particular, and we can talk about the whole series a little bit. Why was Vici able to look so dominant in this last game?
I actually think that the spell casting and the way they take fights is actually phenomenal. Like in this entire last game, EG weren't ahead a single time in this entire game. Here we also have a team fight here in the enemy base on EG side. They get a sick avalanche here by Crit, who played really well in this game.
Oh, yeah.
You see they're kind of like disengaging. You have a buyback on Venge. They kind of keep chasing, but this fight is already so hard. They even get a good swap back here on the Drow. They continue with the pounce, BKB Slark. They try to keep chasing the Drow, but he kind of gets to disengage. He turns around with silence. A 5-man avalanche toss here by Crit. But even with all this great spell usage by some of the players on EG, it's just not quite good enough. You have buybacks coming out from Vici because they realize they can just buy back into the fight, join their team, because in this fight, both Puck and Venge, they're actually die backing. So at the end, Vici just come back with 5 heroes
This has been an EG classic for a while, or almost like 2 years now, where if you're behind, you feel forced to just farm and like all 3 lanes, and then you just get these one pick off top. Oh, they just run straight middle, one pick off there. And that's kind of been their signature. Like you feast or famine on that farm with EG, and you're behind both games, so they didn't get to eat at all.
I'm starting to think too right now, instantly. I start thinking about what the bracket actually looks like. Moxie kind of got my brain, the hamster, my brain running around in circles a little bit.
Been sleeping for a while, that's good.
For years, actually.
We were worried that it was dead.
Yeah, but the thing is I start thinking about what Beast Coast run's potentially going to be like, right? Like, this is one of the teams where you start saying, okay, now they could potentially run into EG. EG, of course, this was an upper bracket matchup. EG's not out of this one yet. But we also do want to ask you, who do you think shined the most in that last matchup? We already did take the vote, so let's see who the MVP is.
I don't think this one's going to be nice.
I think it might be mean.
Well,
that's not bad, right?
I think it's mean to Arteezy.
It's nice to
crit. I think so. And PYW, I'm okay with that because some of his blink stomps on the puck were actually just so well timed. You can't do that.
I think the 2 4 position players actually played the best in this game. They were shining so much for their team. It was actually crazy.
And middle lane, I know Kunkka does well, but Kunkka dominated Abed in that mid lane.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to win. I don't know if he's supposed to win quite that hard. Maybe a little less, but like I said, he's supposed to win slightly.
That was even kind of what Fogg was saying in the back while we were watching. He's like, is he supposed to win by that much? But ultimately, we have plenty of more Dota coming up very shortly. We're going to hop to a quick break, but when we return, it's going to be Secret versus Alliance.
Rick Gaming Esports, professional esports housemaker.
Multiple witnesses have reported mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
Ladies and gentlemen, we have two of the squads that have looked fantastic thus far. They are in the upper bracket, and one of the teams, as you already heard from Grant, maybe the best team that we have here in Secret Alliance, potentially going to give them a run for their money. To break all that down, we got a glowy brand panel here right now in Lizard, in Fogged, and in OD Pixel. Let's actually talk about this matchup just a little bit here, folks. Fogged, what do you think of this one?
It's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's great.
It's good.
It's great.
It's gonna be
2020.
awesome. No, it's gonna be a really good one.
I feel like we kind of had a run of all of a sudden every single series went all the way to game 3. We saw some really great games of Dota. It feels like this one might be in a similar vein here, and definitely some interesting matchups when you're looking at the players as well. Fatsa, definitely someone that I want to talk about here.
Yeah, I mean, this man, he's been around since the dawn of Dota. He's been through the different teams, and now he's with this squad that when it sort of first came into place, Alliance picked them up. People, they didn't really know what to expect, right? You know, sort of Fada coming in, bringing some names that some people haven't heard about, but he's taken them under his wing. He's got some great leadership, and he has been showing off in this new role. He's been, you know, sort of being able to take a back seat and being able to just use his general knowledge of the game and in a way that he can guide others rather than having to focus on his own core performance. It's been very effective, and Alliance have been doing great because of it.
Yeah. They're also following that similar trend to everyone else, in which they have that one young star. In their case, it's a very young star. It's actually a baby, Nico. A Bulgarian player.
That's good. That was actually really good. Oh man, and we thought that we only brought Lizard for his giant muscles and gotchi references, but we're gonna take a look at Nico, baby, here. And yeah, I think that there's plenty to talk about. That's just great, dude. I think there's plenty to talk about too, though, when you look at these players and just the history that they're gonna have with each other as well. You know, Owen says Fatsa, since the dawn of Dota, he's walked this earth, but also he's going to have pretty good insight into playing with Puppy, and also now they're going to be drafting against each other head to head.
Yeah, no, it should definitely be really interesting. I'm also like, I'm really happy to see Fada in this role because I think he really enables a lot. Because with that experience, I think he's really enabled, in particular, Limp. I think Limp this is his best season.
Yeah,
right? Like, I think all the other iterations that Limp has been on, it's always been like, damn, Limp is so good when he's playing in like these pub games and all that too, but like he is amazing. But when we do see, of course, what Fada can get from Puppy, I do think that can actually help because he learns so much from it. I feel like you can guide your mid player to do a lot because of that. So,
and then we can look at the history with these two lineups as well. They've only faced once this entire season, very close. That was back in Singapore group. So they haven't necessarily played against each other that much yet, but this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I do kind of want to start to talk very big picture here because I think we have a few seconds. I started to talk to Grant a little bit, Owen, about who we really do think the top tier of teams are. Obviously, Vici, after playing against EG like that, you start to talk about, okay, is this the best team here? And Grant starts to say, I think it's Secret. Do you think that Alliance is a team as well that's in that conversation for being in the top teams?
I think they're very close to sort of being there. For me, coming into this series, I still sort of see Secret on another level to Alliance, but it is hard to call. An Alliance, they have been impressing, and one thing that I think that they've got, which is very scary, which I think some of the other sort of maybe underdogs like Beast Coast have, is they're not afraid to pick something that's very different. You know, we saw it in the last series, Limp coming in, bringing in like these mid silencers, these mid bat riders, things that other teams might not necessarily have prepared for, because you just don't expect it to come out here at the sort of at the main stage of this event.
Let's get a little bit of insight into what Alliance actually thinks about this matchup.
We're going to play Secret. It's always going to be a tough opponent. Our track record isn't the best against them, but I think, you know, we'll learn more each time, and I think it's going to be a great match.
And it definitely does seem like it's going to be a great match. And I want to start talking about, you know, Owen says that a lot of picks could get a little bit wonky here. Lizard, do you think that is something that we could see?
I think that definitely could be the case, but not only because of Alliance, but because of Secret. The only team that has more different heroes picked in this tournament than them is Beast Coast, like you just mentioned. But Beast Coast also has a couple of extra games on them.
They've had more games played,
so I wouldn't be surprised if it's Secret that surprises us with a couple of funky picks.
I think Secret could be the one that comes out with some surprises. Fog, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they draft so many different heroes. I think they've shown so many times that they can like share heroes pools as well. Like Matamba will sometimes play a hero, then Nisha will play that hero like the next game after that, like the Magnus in particular. We've seen them both share it. And yeah, massive hero pool on both sides. Should be should be a fun game and should be a lot of battling. And I think that's what we've come to kind of expect between all these teams now. So
yeah, definitely. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm sorry, production, I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here, but if we do have the bracket ready, I would really like to take a look at that, because we have so much kind of knowledge now of what some of the matchups may look like. Thank you guys very much, especially after that last matchup, because we were talking about Beast Coast, and I really do kind of want to start to take a look at their road, because we do have a pretty good idea of who they're facing. Are there any big things that you want to call out here, Owen, when we are looking at this playoff bracket?
What, in terms of what, Beast Coast's journey or anyone?
Anyone's journey, yeah.
I mean, well, for me, it's definitely the fact that Beast Coast are sort of a step closer, and the next matchup being that against IGs. I feel that's going to be an easier series for them than Team Nigma. So already I'm sort of seeing Beast Coast make that step to the next point, and then you're going to have that all-exciting matchup of EG versus Beast Coast down in the lower bracket. EG, they looked a little shaky today. Some of their ideas didn't look a little too hot, and I think that's a big weakness when you're going against a team like Beast Coast. So my eyes are just fully on the Beast Coast run. They've made these incredible runs in the lower bracket before at majors. They've always sort of reached that sort of block, but it's never been a bad loss. They've always been knocked out on a game where they could have had it. They were that close to winning it, and this really could be their time to shine.
I mean, they already were exchanging blows with some of the best teams in the tournament, right? You look back all the way to the beginning when we got this show started, and this is the team that I feel like if you were going to pick a Cinderella story, it would definitely lie with them.
Lower bracket runs are always going to be the most exciting. I think for me, it's Beast Coast and Liquid potentially. They do have a tough matchup coming up for them, but with TNC at least for Liquid. But yeah, both of those two, these lower bracket runs are always the exciting ones to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And we look at these teams as well. Sorry, production's talking to me right now. We're having a little bit of problems getting into the game, but we got plenty to talk about. I don't feel bad about that at all. It's just more time to talk.
I would just mention TNC actually from that lower bracket as well. They didn't look that hot on the first couple of days, but TNC right now, for me at least, they look like the favorites. Considering which teams they have faced and how they have played in the last couple of days, they look really hot. It's like they finally understood what they need to do in the current meta.
That's what happens with March though, right? He's like, he's this old school player. He likes to get into the depth of a game and really start to understand the patch. It takes him maybe some longer time too, but I think that's definitely a really good point, because we did see some genius coming out from them today in particular. Yeah. They had some super good strategies coming out. They made Huskar work. They made a couple different things work, and it looked good. So yeah, for TNC, that should be a fun matchup for Liquid.
All right, a lot of fun matchups, and also, obviously, we're very excited for this next matchup, but we got to resolve this quick issue when we return. We're going to be getting into the draft. We'll see you there.
Hold on to the other side. gone for days and I won't wait.
Secret versus Alliance. We are already in the draft. We're going to be breaking it down for you. We got the perfect panel to do it. My name's Rich. I'm joined by Lizard, OD, Pixel, and Fogged. And we started to talk a great deal about what these teams have already accomplished inside of this tournament, what we expect from these teams inside of the squad. Obviously, coming into this one, it appears that Secret will be the favorite. But what do you expect as far as the draft's concerned, Owen? Anything in particular on either side?
Yeah, I'm looking at the carry heroes, really. You know, the Slark and Lifestealer for me are the two big ones because both teams play them, and as Fogged already mentioned, obviously Secret very good with the Slark in both roles. Nisha and Matu play a top-tier Slark. Lifestealer for me is, as I said, Matu or Nico Baby. Who's going to be able to get their hands on it? The other big one would have been the Mag, something else that both teams love to grab. Alliance made the smart move of taking that away, making sure the Secret can't open with it. But that's what the fighting over is going to be about for me.
Also, a hero with 100% win rate in a couple of last days is Broodmother, and they have one of the best Broodmother players in the world, definitely Matumba Man, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they snatch that hero.
Yeah, I actually forgot Brood won the last game because the last one was Liquid. I forgot about that. Yeah, very good point there. Maybe see a little bit of Brood.
Yeah, no Slark for you, Owen.
Yep, Slark's gone.
To be expected.
So now still the Lifestealer. I mean,
still
in terms of
yeah.
what other top tier carries would you say these two teams favor over those?
PL?
I think they favor PL pretty highly, yeah. But I do think these teams also like the Underlord pick quite a lot on both sides.
I think one of the reasons why you saw the Lifestealer before and all these other heroes is because PL and Drow were banned, so they didn't really have a chance to even get them. They banned the Tiny instead.
So what do we have? We have Omni, we've got Disruptor, we've got Lich, we've got Tree.
We have Rubik as well, that's picked quite a lot by both.
Yeah. So what do you want to open with?
Treant is there as well.
Oh, sorry, Lich is banned, my bad.
Enchantress as well is in the pool.
Don't know if that's going to be probably picked up by these two teams.
Treant, yeah.
It's going to be the Treant Protector.
I mean, it's not really difficult to guess the opening picks right now. You have a set of heroes and...
I've been able to figure it out quite a few times. That's when you know that
there you
definitely
go. If
settled
you put it,
a little bit on the meta. Usually that's a sign that we've definitely figured out who some of the powerful heroes are. But on the side of Team Secret,
I think they could do even something like Rubik Omni. It's a little bit weird, but I think the Omni is really strong, but the Rubik is like the cover pick for yourself, and I know it's Yapzor, right? It might be a little bit early just to like force something like that.
They also picked a lot of Wyvern. There you go. Yeah. Doom Wyvern. They played it on Yapzor. He went for that first item Orchid. He trashed with it. Also, it's pretty decent versus tree because you have this ability to go over the trees, scout him out, get him.
I think something Owen said also is probably what this pertains to as well is what these two heroes, they pierce BKB, they pierce Rage, they pierce Lifestealer in particular, probably one of the bigger ones that you could look at. So these two heroes already set you up to having a very strong draft into team fights.
And a very strong lane as well, remember. Scorched Earth, the way of Doom that these guys like to play it with the Scorched Earth, with Infernal Blade, and the Splinter Blast. You're just amazing in the laning stage.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think that's just enough having those two heroes to put them off? Because I feel like we have still seen Lifestealer played into these heroes despite obviously their obvious strengths against it.
I think that's a mistake because a few months ago, before the patch, Lifestealer was pretty good versus Doom, right? And that's why it was picked, but I don't see that being the case any longer. However, with the Treant, perhaps it can work because that's a strong lane too. Any lane with a tree is a strong lane.
I think one of the carries that Nico Baby can be pretty hot on that can punish like a Wyvern, something like the Gyro, right? Some great sort of team fight to work with the tree.
Bat Rider is another hero that the teams really do like versus Wyvern a lot of times, and Alliance has shown it. And they can play it in multiple roles.
Exactly, yeah. There could be definite strength to picking that one up early.
And we also saw Leshrac was another big option that we saw Liquid doing, the Tree Leshrac duo, which seemed pretty strong. I don't know if it's something that Alliance would do. I know they used to run the Leshrac even on Hanskin sometimes, but it did seem strong, and it's nice versus the
They
Wyvern.
go with the Morphling very early on.
But it is versus Doom, which some people do like. You know, you don't mind playing against because you can play. You're elusive. You can play around the Doom. Sometimes you just get doomed and you're screwed anyway.
You can also get Lincolns, right? We saw the exact same matchup. Was it this morning or last night? Last night, I believe. And just you buy that Lincolns and you're fine. You're so elusive with the Morphling. You shouldn't get doomed.
Until he gets like what? It was like the Purge creep that really messed everything up. Yeah, Blink, Purge creep, and then he was getting the Doom off almost every single
Also, what's
time.
really good is Blink, Force, and Stomp.
Yes.
Right? That also works.
Yeah.
And it is so early, though, isn't it? I mean, as you said, this is Alliance saying, we believe Morphling is that strong that we're going to pick it, and we're going to count on the fact that Secret, with their 3 picks remaining, aren't going to be able to deal with it.
You can ban out some heroes right now.
I think they're Pio and OD, right? At least those are the two, at least like the biggest ones that we usually see versus the Morphling when teams...
I think OD is a perfect call.
OD is probably, right? I think, I don't know, because that one sometimes, like, some teams just stray away from it completely, but...
So, Owen, you're really not in love with the Morph then, even with...
No, I mean, I'm just excited to see. I do love it when teams are willing to pick sort of their big carry hero this early. Especially when it's a carry hero that does usually have some strong counters to it. It just goes to show that they're that confident in it. I mean, sure, the carry pool was already sort of dwindling. You look at a lot of the bans and the big picks have been taken away. The other ones that Nico Baby would have felt comfortable playing, like the Lifestealer, as you guys mentioned, already didn't look very appealing because of the straight opening from Secret.
But you have to understand as well, the Team Secret loves Morphling, and if you snatch that away from them, it's a pretty good thing for you. You don't want to give Nisha that.
We see that Bat banned out. I think we talked about that versus the Wyvern, especially once you see they picked up Tree Morphling already. I think the Bat Rider stands out a lot more because it's a hero that wants to make space for something like that Morphling. And I think also the reason they could maybe go for that Morph is because versus Wyvern, right? Like, you can turn into Wyvern, you get that, your Arctic Burn, it's actually really potent. And then we see the PL and that OD ban, kind of as expected when you open with a Morphling.
How do you sort of rate AA against the Morph? Is it, because as a hero, obviously has a lot of weaknesses, it's not one of the strongest supports. Is that sort of one-up capability straight up against the Morph still enough to make it viable in this match?
Haven't we seen it? We've actually seen Zai play it on the offlane versus the Morphling.
They can do, Zai
they definitely value it a lot.
It's even better than it used to be, right? Because now Morphling has 1 health pool. So you can't just shift and be like, haha, I don't care about how low my Morphling is, I'm a different hero. Now you shift and you still are affected by the AA blast and you do not XG heal.
Although in that particular game, it wasn't really AA that was handling the Morphling, it was the whole team. I believe they had a really strong Monkey King at the same time, and he was the one doing the majority of the work. AA didn't work because they missed a lot of those blasts, but if they do connect Morphling, he's just dead.
Lots of things to look out for here then on the side of Team Secret. Keep in mind too, folks, I do want to remind you if you are just tuning in, this is in the upper bracket, so whoever does lose this isn't going to be sent home. They're going to be sent down to the lower bracket. Also, this is the last series of the night getting started.
We're way ahead of schedule yesterday, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Will almost ruined that, though. Will's
the first game,
well.
80 minutes.
So Secret's taking a lot of time with this ban. They actually go for the enchant ban. That's...
3-3 is definitely one of those offlaners that likes to play a lot of Ench as well, so...
Okay, yeah, I
that's
can see
one of the reasons, perhaps. The same reason why Alliance stole that Morphling for themselves. Obviously, they have a very capable Morphling player, but Nisha... I don't think there's anyone better. That guy on Morphling is just unstoppable.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Him and Matamba were literally my favorite Morphling players. Him, Matamba, and Miracle, to be fair, were my favorite Morphling players for quite a long time.
Listen, I got crushed so many times by Nisha in games before, and I just have to praise him.
Yeah,
it's easier when you're crushed by the best,
definitely a really appropriate pick versus that Morph. And yeah, that's what happens when you open with Morph.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously the Alliance did have a few bans to maybe take it away, but as we saw, you know, they obviously feel that the AA in itself is not as scary as giving away one of these big meta core heroes to Secret. But still, yeah, Secret have that. They have that capability to really punish the Morph pick if the Ice Blasts are on target.
What I really like about this AA pick is the fact that their opening is Doom plus Wyvern, so it's pretty flexible still. Considering Zai has played the AA before, you can juggle with that a little bit. Doom can be the 4 as well.
I mean, Zai could probably play any of these heroes on the offlane,
exactly.
right? You could do offlane Wyvern. You can do any of these on 3. So Secret, as you say, this 3, 4, 5 that they're picked up to start with, there's a lot of flexibility.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, go.
I was just thinking, like, because we saw the Oracle so much earlier, it was imprinted in my mind for some reason, and we've seen the Oracle versus the AA in the past. If you time it properly, you can counteract it quite a bit here, but it's not their style. It was something that just had come to my mind. But they go for CM, which is a little bit...
CM, interestingly enough, isn't picked a lot, but has one of the highest win rates in the tournament.
What is the niche where you do see CM actually shine?
She brings a lot of nuke potential in the laning stage as well, something like Lich. Also, the aura is obviously really good as it benefits all your allies. Like, you get additional mana.
Now, also, this was a hero that we just see get locked in on the side of Team Secret. That you mentioned Lizard is something that it was a whole team that was able to deal with the Morphling a little bit earlier on in the tournament. This is one of the names that you said was able to do it.
It's almost the same draft versus the Morphling. It's almost the same, literally the same draft. Monkey King was the one that got really, really out of control though. And if Alliance learned anything out of Secret's previous series, they will handle the Monkey King a little bit better in that mid lane.
So our eyes, it's looking like, are definitely going to be a lot on the mid lane here.
And there you go. This is really good. This is instantly an answer to that Monkey King.
It's very, very, yeah, this is great. And, you know, Limp, there was that whole sort of start of, what was it? It was in Singapore. He was like playing this pretty much every game. Like, he was one of the best Vipers on the block. I mean, he has been for the longest of time, and he's obviously loved the recent change to Viper. Not the recent one where it did get nerfed a little bit, but just the way Vipers play right now.
I think it was Limp when he just came into the scene. One of the things that people blamed him for is the Viper. He would just play this hero, so.
Totally different hero now, though. Of course, compared to what he used to be. He is a very different monster.
I mean, surely seeing the Viper, that's got to be enough to push the Monkey King to a side.
That's what I'm thinking, too. I think it's very versatile that you can do that.
You can't go mid against that Viper, can you?
You can't, first and foremost, and secondly, you have that Nether Toxin to deal with the Masteries later on.
Yeah, exactly. You can play very nicely around him. It's going to be hard for the Monkey King to do much until he has his BKB if the Viper's around. And a smart pick from Alliance, but you definitely expect Secret with picking the Monkey King now rather than last. They still have in their minds ways to readjust their lanes and make sure that this Monkey King just doesn't get destroyed by the Viper early on in the 1v1.
But something has to be destroyed by the Viper.
Sure.
That's the hero.
Something's got to go mid.
Someone has to go mid.
Ooh, they read that one. Beastmaster ban. You have a Viper on your team. You want to get rid of the Broodmother. We saw one today.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you would have probably got a Brood Mama if you didn't ban that one out of Alliance. I like that too. It's good.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes. We just said that there's nothing that can win versus Viper, but Broodmother definitely is one of those heroes that's pretty strong there.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Alliance. Still looking for 33-0, right?
Should be, yeah. Abaddon. Wow, it went all the way through.
That feels pretty good getting that as your last pick.
Oh, and that's the hero to lane.
I think it's a really good hero versus Viper as well.
It is.
It's pretty decent, yeah.
All right, all in all, let's try to break this down just a little bit. Fog, how would we see Team Secret actually cut a path to victory with this lineup?
They have 4 very good space makers for an Arc Warden to farm up. These 4 heroes can fight, and they also provide a lot of team fight. It's not like they're just like these like random like pick-off kind of heroes. They just provide straight team fight. While I look at Alliances, they're really lacking in the team fight. They don't really have much any at all. It's like the Train Protector and the CM ulti, and those are not really your most threatening ones in comparison. And Morphling is like, he has to sit back and farm. So I look at the 4 of Secret versus the 4 that I see of Alliance, and it looks a bit stronger, at least for me.
Yeah. Team Secret's lineup definitely looks scary. At the same time, Morphling, if he gets enough farm and if those Ice Blasts do not connect, I believe he can carry the game, but it is difficult. Also, in the mid game, you'll have Viper and Abaddon.
Yeah, I don't think the control of the tree and the CM is going to be enough against this Secret lineup. Secret's lineup, to me, it just looks stronger at all stages of the game. I think it's going to be a very tough game one for Alliance.
All right, Team Secret looking good. Before we even get this one started, we're going to head over to a quick break. When we return, we're going to get into the action between these two squads.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have the very last series of the day. It's going to be quite the hype one. Gezu, I'm so excited to get the chance to cast with you. I'm looking forward to your insights.
Yeah.
What do you think so far from this draft?
I think the last pick for Secret is really strong with this Arc Warden, so I do favor their draft slightly at least. I think they have good answers all throughout. Their AA is also very strong this game. It's good against Viper, Morph, and Abba, so actually against all the three cores. But I expect a lot of fighting in the early and mid game.
I mean, that is definitely the patch, right? Is that you want to make sure that you win your lanes, you get the experience, make sure you secure those bounty runes, the shrines, all of that. So let's see what Team Secret and Alliance have to bring to us today.
So if we look at the lanes up top, at least for now, we have AA and Doom running into the top lane. One thing to note is that they're not playing AA as the core, which they did last time when they did have this hero combo. They actually laned AA and Wyvern together, I believe, last time. So they're gonna match up against... Actually, we may not know what they're matching up against because for now, Morphling is running down bottom. So they might be looking to just aggro tri-lane into the Secret lineup here.
And how do you feel about that? Is that something that you think is going to pay off for them? I know it's very important, right, so that Nico Baby gets that farm that's necessary.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure for now. I'm gonna have to take a closer look. I guess I think most importantly for them, they wanna dodge the Abaddon into the Monkey King matchup down bottom because that is a really rough one to play into. So I think most importantly, that's, you know, the main reason that they're going for that.
All right, well, you can see Fata just kind of moving around, trying to get a little information here. Does have a couple wards on him. We'll get a little vision. See the Monkey King just kind of hanging out by the rune spots.
Yeah, Knighted, they're not really seeing each other on the map. Like, no one has shown on the map. So I think Knighted team really knows what's going on. So I think the lanes, they're going to stay like this. You see Abaddon, he's kind of going to cruise up top now. So we're going to have to see how Secret respond to this. I think that they may just try to counter tri-lane this and bring the Wyvern down bottom, at least after 1 or 2 minutes. But we'll see how they feel like that they should adjust.
So how do you feel like this mid lane is going to match up?
Arc Warden, Viper... Yeah, I haven't thought about it too much until now. I think this is a pretty good lane for Viper, actually. So I think it's a lot about the block in the mid lane and where the lane positioning is. And also rune control is going to be fairly important because, you know, the CM could swoop by in the mid lane. So I do think that the mid lane is heavily in favor of Alliance here.
Interesting, and they did make that change on Viper as well, where he basically has those ranged Fury swipes, so to speak, with that poison. So definitely something that they have to keep an eye out. And we've talked before, I believe you're the one who actually mentioned it when we were sitting in the green room, saying, you know, if you have a hero that's able to win his lane, you want to just slide like one other hero, maybe secure a gank on mid, and then it's just totally incontrovertibly just one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, this lane is already hard for Arc Warden, at least to my knowledge. And if if you bring one hero that skews it even harder in his favor, it might just make it unable to Arc Warden to, come back here to this lane once he dies. But we'll see if they have the space in the end to make that move, as Monkey King gets pretty low down bottom here.
Looks like he's fine, and he does want to dodge, so he'll use the self, he'll TP out. I wouldn't be surprised to see them maybe try to just keep pressuring him, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they might swap the lanes around. We'll see. For now, maybe with the lane control, they might feel okay. But overall, yeah, they should at least look to swap. Perhaps one thing they do is to swap around the supports first and see if they can swap pressure the Monkey King that way. And if that doesn't work, then they might swap the cores afterwards.
All right, well, Zion, Puppey, like you said, moving their way down to the bottom. Tumba trying his best to farm with the Absol protecting him.
Yep, and a beautiful Ice Ogre on Doom, which is gonna, you know, change this game, at least early on, quite a bit. So we have a little gold on bottom onto Puppey.
Yeah, Puppey's got to be very careful with the positioning, especially once Tree starts getting those levels. Same thing with Crystal Maiden. You have so much slow potential.
Oh, some more
mid lane.
pressure
Nisha's trying to play here. He can't do it. Limp gets the first blood in the mid lane. Can they get themselves a kill back? He has Fairy Fire. The Absol's trying, but he just does not have enough damage. And, he doesn't manage to cancel the salve. The uphill mischance.
That was close. I think Arc Warden actually had a Fairy Fire before he died. I'm not sure if he popped it, because I think if he did, Mr. Wyvern would have had a turn kill here. He has 2 levels in Bubble. I'm not sure if he ended up using it or maybe it was on cooldown, not sure. But so he's gonna try to bait, I think, the Viper later on at least, as we have to go up top.
Yeah, 33 is taking a lot of harassment. Tumba Man kicks himself a nice kill there.
Yeah, that's a nice rotation by Wyvern. You know, he already TP'd mid, so he's gonna have to kind of run to a lane after. Goes up top, gets a kill. And now I think Alliance should think about perhaps lane swapping here. Maybe the Abba just runs down bottom. He's currently in base. Down bottom, Zai is gonna die, and it's gonna be a trade after all.
I think it's definitely more Alliance favorite considering the fact that... Oh, was it?
Yep.
Okay. So then you're very, very happy for your Alliance. You've only lost your Crystal Maiden, you get the kill on the Doom.
Yeah, and she denied herself, so that's very nice. So Abba did end up TPing top. I think this is gonna be a bit of a problem for them later on. At least if they sack the Abaddon up top, they need to make sure that both Morph and Viper have a good game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the Sia maybe swoop into the mid lane rather soon.
It does feel like, you know, Nisha giving up that kill in the mid lane, but would like to see perhaps maybe, I don't know, do you sack a lane at this point? Do you just kind of say, all right, well, this lane's very, very difficult. We're going to ensure that the other lanes are going to get that farm?
I think it depends. Like either you I feel like right now top, it looks like the CM is going to go there. They're going to look to help him out a little bit.
Okay.
So they're not just going to leave him in the dark as it is. As CM is stacking the pole cam right now. They're just going to try to help him a bit in the early game, which I think is totally okay. Perhaps nighttime will be, you know, the timing that they're going to look for to gank on his Arc Warden. But I think overall, Nisha, he's doing okay. I don't know if he's fully happy with this 15-1 against a 25-9. But right now, the lane just is getting harder and harder for him against his Viper.
It's a lot of harass trading back and forth there, but we do have those bounty runes coming up soon, so I think that's also going to be important with the positioning. And I think we can also look to see maybe some sort of rotation. In fact, you can see over there, mid lane, we do have a Wyvern coming around the side.
Yeah, I don't see too much play potential here for Secret up against this Viper unless he's really out of position. As bottom, Nico Baby, he's gonna morph up, he should be fine. It's not the most kill potential lane that Secret have down bottom with Doom and AA. But to go back to the mid lane, I think they cannot kill Viper until Nisha is 6. I think that is Secret's first timing to potentially try a play on the mid lane.
So why do you think he made that rotation just earlier then?
Maybe just to help the Arc right now, you know, maybe try to scare off the Viper to help Arc hit this level 6 timing. Because I think right now when Viper gets this 5 before you, it's a crucial timing where he could potentially just knock you out of the lane.
All of those bounty runes getting picked up, but fairly quiet. People seem pretty content to be farming, taking their time. Crystal Maiden doing the best that she can to try to assist that Abaddon in the top lane.
Yeah, nothing too crazy really happening in this game so far. Like I said, maybe with the Arc 6, and now that it's nighttime, I think now might be the first move into the lanes, that's mid lane.
Get the Viper strike out, immediate rotation from Yapsar, and Limp just maybe overcommits? What happened here exactly?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's a slight overplay. Well, one thing that's really good is that he has Magnetic Field on Arc Warden, but I'm pretty sure Limp was aware of the fact. And of course, good TP and nice turnaround.
Bottom lane, that Vortex out. It's going to slow down Fata just a little bit. He's very tanky. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to find that kill just yet, especially with Nico Baby just kind of throwing out a couple hits.
Yeah, both these teams have kind of slow kills, at least in the spot lane. It's like very static damage, not a lot of burst. So now Arc is 6, so with the next Arc ulti, they could potentially try a rotation, but Limp.
He spots out Yapsar, gets quite a few of these clicks off. He's just going to run after him, and I don't think Yapsar is going to be able to do anything about it.
Nope, that's a good kill, but that ward... Actually, wait, is that That's Radiant.
That's a Radiant Ward. Yep.
Huh, I am actually surprised he ended up seeing him for that long. That's
Well, there is one
nice.
over here on the other
I
ground,
see
so that
that.
gives a decent amount of vision.
All right. Noobcaster over here.
No, man, I'm loving all of your analysis. I play Potato Dota. It is so nice when I get the chance to like sit here with you or Lizard or just any of these guys and chat and just get this nice analysis.
Love to hear it.
But yeah, like, you know, it's an interesting thing, right? Because this is a patch where things tend to move very, very quickly at a certain point. But a lot of these guys, they're very slow chases almost, it feels like. Like you saw the Wyvern get chased down by the Viper bottom lane. You know, it's not going to be something very quick and instant, it feels like.
Yeah, a lot of time you just need to chase a bit. And some heroes, you know, they need their timings as mid. A bit of a dive here.
They've got the bubble, got the Tempest. It's just going to be a lot of harass. I'm not sure. That Spark Wraith over on the corner, not going to be able to quite connect. This Tempest, another Spark Wraith. No.
That is a lot of pressure. Like, even though they don't kill him, Viper is not the type of hero that wants to be harassed or pushed out of the lane. It's the complete opposite. You kind of want to do this to your opponent. So coming over, even though they're not killing him, this is really big for Secret. I really like this movement by them right now.
Well, it is kind of like you said, it was going to take a while before Nisha was going to feel confident enough with the +1 to try to go for anything super aggressive. And so it makes sense, right? Because Secret, one of the best teams, I would say, they know how to execute Dota.
Yeah,
they have a very good idea, and it's almost textbook sometimes when you look at these situations.
Yeah, for sure. I was kind of saying the same earlier about Vici. Like, I think all these top teams, they play very like methodical and with like a lot of logic and sense behind the plays and how they think about the game. Like you can see, there weren't that many unnecessary rotations in this game being made. So they all kind of know like when they're strong, when they're not, and what they kind of need out of the early game in order to progress their game nicely.
It's a bit of Kerskoffling down here. Doom sitting at level 4 currently. Not probably going to see too much out of him just yet. Limp struggling in the mid lane. Is going to have to actually TP out, which is going to leave this tower very susceptible.
Yeah, this is very obvious not good news for Alliance. They may even lose their mid tower here. I think they're already too late to rotate over.
Yeah.
Bottom lane, they force out the Abaddon ulti. And funnily enough, I saw this core duo twice from IG. We saw it once yesterday and once a couple days ago. This Monkey King Arc Warden seems to have a lot of potential together. If the Arc Warden doesn't have a good game, then the Monkey can make a lot of space for you, because nowadays, these Monkey Kings, they win a lot of their lanes. A lot of these off-lane heroes, they're all like melees, and some of the supports are also melee heroes. And you can see, Monkey King is top of the net worth, Nisha doing really well mid, especially with that one kill that they had. And they're both in the top 2 net worth right now.
That's going to be a bit concerning, especially when you consider the fact that the Monkey King is going to be making even more space and time for that Arc Warden.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's pretty happy right now. He even picked up an Iron Talon, has a maxed out stun. Looks like he wants to go for the Echo Saber, which is like the first big teamfight item for Monkey, as it just buffs up your ultimate by so much.
It's going to allow them to get a lot more aggressive very quickly. And again, this is the sort of setup where if you start winning those lanes, if you start taking these early fights, you're going to snowball, and it's very difficult to come back. Not to say that we haven't seen some pretty incredible comebacks, but Puppy knowing that there's just no way to get stunned up, it's just going to TP to the tower.
Yeah, this is a pretty natural rotation that's going on right now, as both teams may start fighting for an outpost over here, but I don't think Secret really want to engage down here. So both teams should look to just trade the bounties, trade the shrine, and as we see in many games, as mid tower falls just very freely here, both teams are going to end up pressuring the enemy safe lane tower, and it might be a trade, but Matumba Man is staying down bottom right now, and I like this choice a lot. Back in the day when Secret still had mid one, they were one of the only teams that utilized Monkey ulti early on. So if Alliance push this tower, expect Secret to fight back here with a setup on the Monkey ult.
Definitely a good hero for scrapping early and having that pressure. It's almost similar to, say, like a Tide Hunter, right? The ability that, you know, there's that threat. Is it one of those situations, too, where the threat, early game anyways, is way more scary than the actual thing?
It kind of depends how well the enemy team does it. I mean, if you do it nicely with like a smoke round, there's Morphling. No, never mind, he's just farming the jungle, morphing down. I just saw his HP drop low. If you still smoke around nicely and you get to go on the Monkey before they're set up, then you can still go. You just kind of need to see, like, with the information on the map and how you get to kind of start the fight. You just don't want to run in blindly, you know, and give them a free team fight.
That makes sense, right? Especially if no one's showing. This tower's going down very, very quickly here in this top lane, despite the fact that they do have, you know, a point in that living armor, trying to keep it healthy.
Yeah, and so the Monkey King did TP out of bottom. He hasn't shown yet, so I'm not sure how nicely Alliance feel right now. I think he still hasn't shown. So I don't know, like I just said, if they feel comfortable to push this bot lane until they do see the Monkey King on the map. Because like I said, the threat is still there that he could be in the bot lane and setting up this tower defense.
And they actually have a really fantastic AoE team fight, right? You know, you've got the Ice Blast eventually on the AA, which he has picked up. Not quite the ultimate on the Wyvern, but you have such nice follow-up if you have all those pieces.
Yeah. One thing that's important to note here also for Alliance's draft, the Viper is, as in many games, kind of, you know, you want the hero to be up top, which is no surprise. That's what you want all your heroes to be. But especially on this hero, it's so important because when this hero plays from behind, suddenly instead of surviving with just a little bit, as we have a little go on here on Zai, who is in a lot of trouble.
Oh, but they think they might, no. When they think about baiting, it felt like the Monkey King possibly think about Ice Blast comes in, only will land on Hanskin.
Right. Nice boundless strike here by Matu, saving his friend. So right now we're kind of chilling around the map, not too much is happening, but the win for Secret overall, they open up the map, they took the top tier 1, and they're still holding on to their bottom tier 1 tower. So you're gonna see Alliance, they're getting a bit stuck on the map, you know, they're a bit more scrambled together. As we have some little bit of pressure down bottom, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Abaddon's had a very difficult laning phase, right? He's being pushed out, he has to go and rotate, they have to rotate the Crystal Maiden to him. Not really what you want to see about a hero that has, you know, really great ways of saving himself. Hanskin, double bubble coming out, and it's going to be trouble for Hanskin as he gets taken out. Limp now trying to run away from the Arc Warden, but here's the Monkey King. Nice boundless. Will slow him down. Limp gets off that Viper Strike, but Matumba Man does not care at all.
No, that was great by Secret. And I have not seen a double bubble used like that. I think he placed them within each other. I don't know if Viper even had the chance to end up hitting him. He missed every attack there. Usually you see them use one bubble, the enemy will run towards it, and then you end up placing another one. So that was kind of interesting. But I must say that this smoke move by Alliance is a little risky, especially if you run into the guy there, because this kill isn't fast. Like, CM doesn't have any burst damage, and the same with Viper. So I think this kill would often result in at least a trade, so that one of these Alliance heroes would die. But in this case, Monkey King is around, and they both end up dying.
Hit the Royal Jelly picked up now over on Matumba Man. Just, you know, he's doing well, right? This is one of those sorts of situations where he's been showing up to the fights when necessary, but also making sure that he's getting plenty of farm as he moves around the map. In fact, right now, Arc Warden and the Monkey King, both top of the net worth. Not too far behind is Nico Baby, of course, on that Morphling, but it's a bit scary when you see how fast these heroes in particular come online. Bottom lane, 33. It's going to get held in place by Yapsor with the Winter's Curse. They're just going to wait really patiently. Nice Ice Blast comes through, living armor. I don't know if he's going to be able to heal off from that.
It's going to be close with the shield. Looks like the shield is going to prevent him from dying. Yeah, he will not take down. But once again, good pressure. You actually see all of Alliance's heroes, they're starting to rotate down. They did only force only one TP, but still, some nice pressure on the map. Nico Baby, he's still, you know, he's getting some nice farm up. He's actually going for Diffusal first, so most likely just getting ready to fight back in this game. Also, if I saw correctly, I think Matu changed his build into a Diffusal Blade, which is
that's really nice.
Yeah, which is very strong this game. I like it more than the Echo Saber, simply with how the game is developing, because they're ahead. I think the Diffusal Blade ruins a lot of the Alliance's heroes right now, so I can only agree with their item choice right now.
So what does Alliance want to do currently at the moment, right? Because they still need time. They need time to go and farm up. They're a bit behind. Do they just try to dodge fights, or do they need to take some of these other heroes and get a little aggressive? Although Hanskin may be a little bit too aggressive, as he is found by Yapsor over on the side. He's going to try to get himself a last hit using the Frostbite. He does manage to get it, but...
Yeah, so I think CM just got level 6, or maybe he's been 6 for a little bit. I think he's like 6.5, but he has not yet skilled his ulti, which I would definitely like. You know, I would like to see that, because I think they will need it. Even if he can't channel it for a long time, you force, I don't know, maybe you force a curse on you, or Boundless Strike, an Infernal Blade. However, they're so far behind, they need to, you know, get every little bit in the fight that they can.
Right.
But right now, they're not that strong. I think the only way they can go on Secret is either at a tower, where they have good intel around the map of what's going on, or if they get a smoke where Secret are not 5 heroes. Because I think if Secret are gathered up and in good position, I think fighting for Alliance is not that easy until Morphling has at least this Diffusal Blade completed.
Well, they do have the option, too, of having both of those supports. You talked about Crystal Maiden getting that ultimate. when paired up with, the overgrowth from the tree, could give them some time, some space. Not necessarily, enough to get a ton of kills, but enough to take some of that pressure off the map if they start encroaching. And look at this Matumba man just hanging out in the trees, keeping an eye on his other tree friend over here. It's a lot of Spark Rays placed down by the Arc Ward. He's just eating them all up over here. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of know, right? Oh, they have an Ice Blast here, gives them some vision. But they won't end up committing. But of course, Secret, no. This is kind of what Trian wants to do right now. He wants to heal the tower, play around, potentially set up a defense here if Secret do step out of position. But for now, it looks like it's just a little stay mill down bottom as we have a go on mid.
Yeah, Hanskin is going to have that Aphotic Shield thrown out on him, dropping the bubble with the Tempest Double. They'll get the Doom off, but they will lose Hanskin here. But still chasing around into the trees. Do they have vision on 33? A couple Sparkles will have to go pop that ultimate. The Secret just feel very comfortably in the driver's seat right now.
Yeah, so they only lose CM for using Doom, so this might be a small opening that Alliance, that they could look at least. If they see that Secret are showing on many lanes, then you could see maybe you do find a creative way somewhere to smoke around, as Mr. Arc Warden does find a Clumsy Net. I think that is really good on both AA and Monkey King. You can start trapping people in your ulti, or maybe AA can use it as like a pseudo Atos as mid lane. They tried a go on Nico, won't quite be enough, but again, they're forcing some rotations with only 2 supports right now.
Nico Baby still over on the side. He's trying to farm up as fast as he can. Still, top net worth for his team, but this Arc Warden, and again, it is an Arc Warden, right? But still sitting at the top of the net worth. Doom sitting second.
Yeah, so right now, I think that Secret are going to wait for this Arc Warden to finish his Mjolnir, which seems to be the new build as bottom. Matu just pressuring the tree a bit. So Mjolnir is kind of like the new build here for Arc Warden. As bottom, they're looking to go on Matu. We're going to run into the outpost, so maybe we have a setup fight here, yep.
They're trying to cut down these trees, so don't take that outpost, so. I felt like they were trying, they had 3 heroes down there. I wasn't sure if they were going to try to get that pick off that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But it is, again, the Abaddon, Nico Baby's not quite ready.
I was wondering if maybe Secret wanted to take that fight, because they did start TPing both their supports down bottom. But looks like one of them made the call that perhaps it's just, not the right thing to do. I'm not sure how many heroes they saw on the map too, so we don't really quite know what was going on there. But what the hell was I talking about earlier? I was talking about some item. Arc Warden Mjolnir. That seems to be the new build, and when you get that, it just seems so strong because people are getting it earlier nowadays, as we have a curse on bottom of the tree end.
Yeah, beautiful Ice Blast, just holding him into place. We'll try to shield him, buy Fata a little bit more time, and he is very tanky.
Yeah, well, 3-3 is saving a lot of people on the map right now. Of course, he can't heal them with his Q, but the shield is still gonna, help people stay alive against this AA blast. And like I mentioned, I think Secret have a really good timing right now. They have this Orchid on their Wyvern, and they have Mjolnir on the Arc Warden. So right now, I think there's going to be 2 plays for Secret. Either they take a fight down bottom if Alliance do run there, or the other option they have is that Secret end up playing in the top area now. They take over Alliance's jungle and they start setting up Roche. Either they start hitting it, or they take a fight around it. Because right now, I think they're too strong for Alliance to take a fight.
It does feel like they're trying to move to the top portion of the map, and there are plenty of heroes over on the side of Alliance, but it doesn't feel like they're scared of them at all, right?
No, not at all. They
just waltzed right on into the pit.
They're so strong. Like, I think if Alliance come here, Secret feel good about this. Either they get a free Roche, or they get a fight here at Roche, which they most likely think is also good for them, because either way, I think it's just going to be a good fight for them.
Everything's turning up roses for Secret. There it is. There's going to be our first Roche of the game. Aegis getting placed on the Arc Warden.
So there's going to be outposts and bounties soon. In 10 seconds, looks like it's just going to be quite the even trade. We do have Abbott on bottom, who's going to take some bounties. Nisha has some good old Vampire Fangs, not too shabby for him.
Those are a really great item. What's your favorite neutral item?
My favorite neutral item?
Your favorite neutral item?
I mean, I guess it's kind of what everyone else is saying. I think Shovel is kind of growing on me. I like the Faded Brooch too. Movement speed on a lot of offlaners is so nice. Like it makes you so fast on Bad Rider. I mean, it's nice on heroes that are fast because it makes you even faster. And then it's nice on these really slow heroes too. Because I do play some of these snaky heroes like Venno and Viper. And they're so slow. It's like the most annoying part about those heroes.
Oh no, Kaze, why did you tell me that? I didn't know that you're a Venno Viper picker.
Sorry.
Be really honest, I have not watched any of your streams.
Doesn't matter.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Becoming a fan, though. I have to check them out.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm sure you're getting a lot of other fans right now, too. As Nisha in the mid lane.
Jesus. I mean, this Viper is nearly dying just to this clone. That's not the best sign right now.
Oh, bottom lane, Yapser, nice curse coming out, buys a little bit more time. There's so much damage coming out from 33. And of course, you know, Yapser throwing up Splinter Blast. You see the TPs coming out. Can they get this? Can they get Yapser? Still alive. He's moving over into the tree line. He's going to survive as they find a kill onto Fata. 33 now having to run away. That's not what they wanted. They still have vision from the Monkey King. Goes around the corner. We have the Aphotic shield up. And he's going to hit him down. 1, 2. And where's the last one, Matu?
Chop him up.
Going to find it.
Oh, nice cut on a tree.
Not quite yet, that's for sure. So Yapsor, he flies back in, but again, he has that Arctic Burn. And the final hit comes out from Matumba Man as he hits it out of the park.
Yeah, and they also killed the CM up top, so something that you see Secret do here, which is like a tier 1 play. They don't use all of their 5 heroes top because they know that they're strong enough without 5 heroes, so they can keep Yapsor bottom. This might bait Alliance to come fight them top, and most likely, like I said, they feel strong enough to fight them as 4. But if Alliance dodge that play and they go down bottom, they can just rotate the heroes from top to bot because the Wyvern is there to set up. And either way, they will get a fight on either side of the map and they will win it.
It's very, very nice to see it executed.
Wait a minute, did Monkey King have a vampire thanks? No.
No.
Thought they had 2 and stole some. But they just have 1 on Arc, so it's all good.
That's always the worst, right? I think Jenkins was playing one day, and he was telling me how he was just standing next to someone who was farming in the jungle, and he managed, you know, it's the enemy team, they got the item, he gets the kill, and he picks up the item along with it.
Yeah. There we go, the Morph has one of them. So right now what I would like Alliance to do is something we've seen Nigma do quite well, is that they like to smoke on the timing where the Aegis fades away. So in about 3 minutes from now, I think one play that Alliance could try to do, if they have the Roche timer, of course, is that they smoke up, they try to get a good engagement when the Aegis is about to drop and then engage in the fight because it might take Secret by surprise.
It feels like Secret's trying to make their own surprises over here with that smoke. They do have vision on Hanskin again. This is just a support though, I'm not sure if you want to take the time for it. It's 33 also showing himself over on the back lines. Looks like they found themselves a Viper Matu. Nice boundless, he's stuck in the Wukongs, and that's another kill for this Monkey King. Zai joining in on the fight. Gets the Doom off over here onto the Abaddon. Has to be careful. He does have that Crystal Main, but she has no mana left. As the rest of the team coming in now, there's going to be the Overgrowth. Can they get the kill onto Zai? They'll find it. And now they're going to turn right back around on this Monkey King. He needs to get out of there, and it's not feeling like he's going to be able to. He's silenced up. He's dropping trees everywhere, Casey, but it's still not going to be enough to save him as the rest of the team making their way down. Yapsor, he's in position off to the side, but Nisha's Tempest Clone, he's got to move back. They get the heal off on him. There's the jump back down again, the silence, and that's a dead Nisha.
For a while I was thinking that's the clone, but it's not. That's the real hero.
Yeah,
Alliance just got a great fight down here. They kind of ended up splitting up. Alliance had this first move down bottom on the support on the AA, while Secret were kind of in the backline fighting on the Ancients. And they got kind of, split up. Also, I think Arc Warden's ulti, Nisha's ult was not ready for this fight. So I'm not sure if Secret should have decided to end up taking this fight down here at the tier 1 tower.
I feel like they had some people in the vicinity, but again, without the Monkey King ulti too, and the way that they all walked in one by one, that's never the way you want to take a fight.
No, this was obviously very nice by Alliance here. They got to take a spread fight. Of course, this Morphling, if he gets to hit, he's very strong. As we can see, Arc Warden is late to this fight. Wyvern ulti was already expended on the Ancients earlier. Same with the Monkey King ulti. So they only had a Doom left, which went on the Abaddon, but there weren't really enough heroes to back it up. So really nice play here by Alliance to capitalize on this.
All right. Well, we do get the BKB picked up on Doom now, so it's going to be more powerful, a little bit more difficult to have to deal with.
Yeah, I would actually like Doom to pick up a Aghanims next. It's really good in this game, especially against both Viper and the Abaddon. You can break them with your Infernal Blade, so you take off the Viper's Nether Toxin. Also, if you break and Doom the Abaddon, his ulti won't go off as long as he's broke.
Oh, that's true, because
if you just if you just start hitting him, he will go from 100 to 0 and no ulti will be popped.
And then you feel pretty useless if you're in Abaddon at that point.
Yeah, you don't feel good at all. I've seen at least 3-3 does that sometimes, and it's really hard to play against if you are the Abaddon player. As we have some people up top, so might have a possible engagement up here.
And they do have vision onto Zai. A couple of these hits coming out from Lim. Nico Baby making his way over, turns himself into his own Doom. And then they go backwards here just to take care of some of these illusions coming out.
Yeah, I think Alliance should try to play around this ward right now that they do have. As you see Zai, he pings it out because quite obviously the only reason they could hit him is because of it.
Look at Yapser. He's just waiting patient. I think, look at how nicely they're spread out though too, right? Because they know that there's a Winter's Curse on board. They don't want to get caught in it.
You definitely you have to respect that hero a lot. Like if you're suddenly out of position, just 1 second if Wyvern is quick on it, which of course Yapsu will be, it's a quick kill.
Zai, there's a Monkey King nearby. He's gonna go drop that ult, and he lands a nice boundless, but they do get a little bit of a stack going on over here. Followed up with that big Ice Blast. They're gonna lose a limp, and it looks like with that Doom, they'll also lose Nico Baby. The backline's 33, kind of running around in circles, trying to do some damage onto Yapsor. We'll actually be able to take him down, but they'll follow up with another kill here from Puppey.
Even 2 buybacks expanded here on Alliance, which they won't be able to use that well unless Secret overcommit here. Just really nice positioning here by Secret. Matumba Man on the tree just gets a really nice ulti. They followed up with the curse. It may look like it's a bit of stacking, but Monkey ulti and Wyvern ulti synergize really nicely as long as you have Diffusal Blade, because in all this time, they're just getting mana burned. Like Viper, if he does survive, he would come out with 0 mana, Ice Blast on top, Morphling gets doomed, he's completely out of mana too, so they just die. And in the meantime, the Wyvern doesn't even die, gets to Cold Embrace himself, and it's just a great fight for Secret here.
It's just a perfect setup. Having that Monkey sitting up and positioning was fantastic. So, we've got about 11k net worth lead headed over to the side of Secret at 27 minutes in. It kind of feels like, how does Alliance kind of catch up with this?
I think right now what's important is that you don't give the second Roshan to Secret for 3, which will be the next objective in the game. At least it should be for both teams. So if you are Alliance, of course you still have your Shrine available in the jungle, as no tier 3 tower has been slain yet. So you should try to play around buybacks and have them ready for this Roshan fight, and then hope to outnumber Secret, because right now you're in a very big deficit in terms of net worth and experience. So you need to kind of be creative in terms of how you come back to this fight. Perhaps you can play in your Shrine with a high ground ward like they did earlier, and have some buybacks ready, maybe bait Secret in too far, and I think that's going to be one of their best ways to come back in this game.
It definitely feels like they've got their eyes and minds on that area, though, on the side of Secret, as they're kind of clustered over in that area. You do have Puppey in the bottom lane, just providing a little bit of vision just in case, but I think it's going to be hard to catch Team Secret unawares.
Yeah, no, I mean, Secret, they're obviously going to think about this stuff, but we'll see. Maybe Alliance can have a nice bait or, you know, create some chaos in the fight. Also, Wyvern did pick up a Shadow Blade earlier, which makes it pretty hard to deal with that hero. They also don't really have anyone who can go in first and kill him. Usually, perhaps when you do have a Morphling, he can go this E-Blade type of build, and then he tries to one-shot him. But of course, in this game, he doesn't have E-Blade, and the Wyvern can protect himself with the Shadow Blade. So you should kind of expect some decent curses to come out here and there. Most likely, they will be comboed with this Monkey King ulti.
Was that just an oversight in the draft, do you think? The fact that they don't have anyone to get into those back lines? Or were they assuming, oh goodness, look at all this damage coming out on this Crystal Maid, and it's really just the 2 supports.
Yeah, that is enough. Nice they have a really nice ward down here, because I think they kind of know that Alliance want to split push. At least it's kind of like one of their best plays to spread the map, get some farm back in the game. Maybe try to spread up Secret. But yeah, usually when you do play against Wyvern, you either want someone that can jump him or you have a massive like magic damage. Morphling can kind of do both. In this game, if there is an Embrace, he can still, you know, adapt to strike into it. They do have decent tools to deal with it, as most of the heroes have some sort of magic damage.
Oh, the blink forward here from Fata. BKB comes out from Zai. They're going, they'll use the Overgrowth plus the Viper Strike. Trying to slow him down a little bit too with the Nature's Grab. He's just going to TP out. They have nothing left to go and hold him in place.
No, so of course, because they're in a pretty good spot right now, and he has this BKB. I think he also has a plate mail on Doom, so he's pretty tanky. So it's obviously a very good attempt here by Alliance. They want to make sure they abuse this ward that they do have in the jungle. So I totally like what they're doing. They did get the BKB force out of Doom, so that's nice for them. Most likely they're going to wait for this Overgrowth, as this guy might be a little too aggressive here.
Yeah, just a little bit. There's just a Monkey King lurking everywhere. So Matumba Man collects himself yet another kill.
Yep, bye-bye Mr. Fada. He's going to respawn in 40 seconds. Jingle Mastery is popped, and BKB is picked up a Monkey King as well, so he is pretty scary now. And like I talked about earlier, I think Roshan is on the menu right now.
Yeah, and there's just really no way that they can get into that pit and contest it. They just have to maybe push out the lanes, try to find some farm.
Yeah, I think this one, with the position that they're in right now, is uncontestable. They're not in position, Treant is dead, and Secret, they will claim this Aegis and Sheets for themselves.
I'm just over in that mid lane. Does have the spider legs, and I think he had the Grove Bow. Is that what I saw on?
Yeah, I believe you are correct about that. So that certainly helps him. He has Pike, he has Grove Bow. Level 15 talent on Viper is also a attack range talent, and when you attack with Q, you have bonus attack range as well. So he's basically a sniper right now. So that is at least pretty good for them. So if Secret do come up on the high ground, you're gonna see this Viper shooting some poison up in Radiant's alley.
I bet you love that, being a Viper picker.
You sure do. It helps you a lot, especially with all these new neutral items. You get range from some. You have a telescope that gives everyone some range. As Nisha, he changed up his item choice. He was going for an E-Blade, which seems to have been the staple in these last days, like this Mjolnir E-Blade type of build. But I like this a lot. He has this Aegis timing right now, and he goes Butterfly. I just think this makes him a lot stronger right now, and usually when you do have an Aegis on one of your hard carries, it allows you to go for a more aggressive item.
Oh my gosh, bottom lane looks like Nico Baby. He's trying to get the kill on Yapzor. It just doesn't quite have it as the Monkey King is right here. 33 is going to try to keep him alive, but he's chasing after Yapzor on the backline. Nico Baby tries to TP out, and he will be successful in this.
Well, let's see if they get this Mr. Abad.
It feels like 33 is not making this out.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but it's going to be in a body bag.
That is indeed correct. If he gets out of this, I don't know how he would do it.
He's buying a little bit of time, though. He's making them chase him around the map. That's a bit of space.
Yeah.
But in the end, eventually, 1, 2, he has a couple misses. There it is.
He definitely made them work for it. So one thing I would like to see right now is that I want Secret to continue running around as 4, maybe even 5, and you let Arc Warden deal with one of the lanes that keeps getting pushed in, as here we go, up top.
I've seen this before, Kazu, have you?
Yeah, this looks
very familiar.
It's like deja vu to me. Just that this time he doesn't die. So
a better outcome for the tree.
Yeah, that's nice. So I want them to kind of start crossing the map all the time with Secret. Just keep swooping around, make alliance go back to their base, and just use the Arc Warden illusion that you have. Like, you know, just make use of your heroes properly. Let the Arc Warden deal with the lane that's close to your base instead of doing it with heroes.
Just feels like they want to be so aggressive, though, here, Casey, as they find themselves yet another pickoff. Hanskin, he just can't show up on the map at all.
Yep, as we see here, he is gonna fall up top. They're also
They're
really
still hunting
split right
for
now
Fata.
here on Alliance. But Fata is gonna make it out.
Now, do you think they're going to make anything happen with this Aegis? You said that you wanted to see the illusions doing most of the work right now.
At least in terms of split pushing, it should be the illusions. But yeah, they will come knocking at the high ground for sure.
Well, looks like they're preparing for that that knock on the door, but they also are smoked up. So it looks like they're trying to surprise them. This is probably not the happiest surprise that Alliance could be at their door.
No,
but
I don't think this is what they want, as Matu is actually in the base right now, as a tree.
they're just throwing the Tempest double damage right out there. Got the bubble going as well. Fort will get used. He's so tanky, honestly. Like, you look at all of this just discouragement coming out from the side of Alliance. Like, get him off the tower, you know, you throw down the Nether Toxin, you're hitting him with that poison, and it does kind of take him a little bit to take him down.
Yeah, and I mean, they're gonna keep playing like this where they send illusions up there. They do have a repair kit.
Oh my god, they have a repair
as we see
kit.
in most games. And the good thing for Alliance, they do have 3 in, so they get to heal up the tower. As they are 5-man smoking right now.
How many? I think you and I were talking about it and how there's like a repair kit in almost every second game or so.
Yeah, I see
very, very
repair
popular.
kits so frequently. Like, I don't know if it's influenced by one team maybe being very far down or not. Like, I feel like there's some heroes that influence specific items being dropped. At least
Do you think it's the tree? The tree being it?
I think it definitely feels like that to me.
Oh no, we'll have to ask the elusive Ice Frog at some point. Find a way to get that message out and see exactly how this is working. But, you know, he works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, you never know how his fabulous brain does work in balance.
We just know he likes mangoes. Maybe if we send him a basket of mangoes.
Yeah, maybe then
he'll tell us.
He'll answer us. He'll let me balance his game for him a bit.
I'm not sure about that.
Perhaps not. But one thing to note, they have this enchanted quiver on Monkey, which, as far as I'm concerned, it works on all your Monkey on your entire Monkey ult. So every single one that hits gets affected with bonus damage.
I think Fog was talking about that the other day and how it's just almost like a GG item for the Monkey King. It's just so strong, especially when the Monkey King is just doing so well in these games and is very far ahead.
Yeah, like I saw it the first time by a Monkey Spammer. Ooh, that was pretty close.
That was very close.
Yeah, probably wouldn't have, you know, continued in too much more, but some nice pressure on the map. As now they have Ags on Monkey too. That will definitely help them push up the high ground too.
That's very scary right now if you're Alliance.
Oh, he actually gave the quiver away. That's kind of interesting.
No, it's still there.
Yeah, but Monkey gave his away to Arc, right? As we have a curse in mid.
Okay, gonna hold into place. They've got that bubble. Fata coming forward, but the rest of the team, they can't get over there. And Fata is just slowly getting chipped down. Drops that GG tree. Wyvern having to run back. Matu just goes, pops that BKB, finds the kill onto Fata.
honestly, that was a really nice route by Fada. He kind of saved them there. Of course, he does end up dying, but he was rooting like 5 heroes in place while this curse came out onto his hard carry on Morphling, so good hold by them. I also saw, I think Puppey picked up a Halberd, so he's not only tanky. Look at his HP regen, by the way, it's 67%. You have a health regen talent on 15, you have Tranquil Boots, you have Repair Kit, and as far as I'm concerned, the Halberd increases your, your health regen, amplification, and whatever. So not only is he tanky, he has a lot of HP regen, and now he can use an aggressive Halberd on both Viper and the Morphling.
It feels weird to see, an Ancient Apparition to be that farmed in a sense, especially like Puppey when you think back like to when he used to be, the position 6, but now the way that Dota's set up, you're able to be a lot more active and it's a bit more fun in that respect.
Yeah, Dota has changed. Puppey is one of the, I would say he's a greedier support and he's one of the better ones at that. And they're winning. So all of these things, they will definitely help you, to increase your gold. As not only will Doom be able to go on Abba later, but they can do it right now.
There's the Hex. Followed up with the Ice Blast. They do have the Living Armor down. They've got the bubble. Won't force out that borrowed time. Nico Baby just facing off with the Tempest double again. Limp nearby. Getting some nice procs.
Yeah, so one thing to note now with this Wyvern item build, he can actually pressure the Abaddon by himself, especially if the team's around. Now he can break the Abaddon with the Silver Edge, and he also has an Orchid with the Silence. So he can kind of do the same thing as Doom if Doom was to get an Aghanims.
That's actually pretty wild to consider because Doom is so incredibly strong right now. So to be able to do something very similar is a definite boon.
Yeah, as Doom also has a Halberd and he is now indeed queuing up this Aghanims.
He's got that Repair Kit, the Living Armor, trying to keep this tree, or rather this tower alive. Ice Blast gets thrown back. And Matu's just been playing a completely separate lane this entire time.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as before. They know that, they're good enough as 4. I think it's unlikely Alliance will go up top. And I think it's really nice that right now they're doing it with Monkey King, because Monkey is their most mobile hero on the map. Like, he has all these tree dance talents. The amount of time it takes him to go from bottom to top is like, what, 5 seconds maybe, and then he's in the fight. So perhaps you being 4 baits Alliance to come out of the base, but it's not even that good for Alliance to do that, because Monkey is just so mobile.
You can see just how much land he can cover from each one of those jumps.
Yeah.
This is really advantageous. So how are they going to proceed into this next bit here? Because it's a slow siege, for sure. Is it just going to continue to be this very patient, measured speed, or...?
Yeah, I don't really think that Secret have to do anything else unless they see an opening where Alliance is indeed out of position.
Look at that damage.
Yeah, I think for now they'll just keep poking at this with illusions. They don't really need to do anything else as Alliance, though. They're sick of it. They've had enough.
Oh, there's the opening, though, as Nico Baby jumps through. He's got that BKB. Hanskin has his own BKB, and he's letting it go. But Zai jumping in. They do get the kill onto Nisha. They'll drop the Wukong's command. Look at everybody just try to scatter. Crystal Maiden gonna be muted. She's just slowed down. 33 tries to fight back over onto Matu. And then looks like they want to back off. They don't have their Arc Warden. They're still chasing a little bit. Hanskin will fall to the Doom. Fata tries hiding over in the corner. And they'll find Puppey. We'll pop the Lincolns. It looks like Puppey is going to be the sacrificial lamb here as he does get taken down. Yapsor is still in the vicinity as well. He's going to try to get out, but there's just too much damage.
They did waste the cursor on the Lincolns. Probably wouldn't have made a big difference, but really well done here by Alliance to find this opening. Can we put on the Dire Vision real quick? Because I don't know. Yeah, like, look at these wards. I really think Secret... This is not okay. Like, this cannot happen. If you're this far ahead and you're playing on this side of the map, you can't allow Alliance to have this type of vision. I would like Secret to pick up a gem here ASAP, and unluckily for them, this was a fairly quick Roshan spawn, and this might even be an Aegis here for Alliance.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to go over and contest. There's a double damage rune available outside the pit on top of everything else. It'll be a nice treat after they manage to secure this Roche. There it is, Nico Baby going to be able to get himself that Aegis. Matu, he's in the base though. He's trying to do something.
Yeah, he's looking to force some people back, as here we do have Puppey, picking up this Aegis on the respawn. In hindsight, would have been a lot better if they did realize this a few minutes earlier. But very well done by Alliance to get these wards out, make this play with the intel that they did have from the Vision. They get these kills, they check Roshan, it's up, they have a DD. Right now, Alliance actually have a pretty good chance here.
Nico Baby pops the BKB, has his eyes on Nisha. Another bubble's gonna get dropped down. He's got the Hex off. It's gonna be the nice Winter's Curse coming through. They hold him into place and they get a decent amount of damage, followed by the Ice Blast. They'll find a kill onto Fada as they drop the Wukong's command. 33 trying to walk away. Matu looking for anyone that he can try to hit as the Aegis coming back up. Nico Baby is taking a lot of damage off to the side. 33 just charging after Matu. They want to try to keep the vision. They've got a refresher orb. Matu jumping up on the trees. He's got the Glimmer Cape. Puppy tries to run away. He's going to have to buy a little bit more time thanks to that Winter Wyvern.
I mean, Nisha is still dead right now. They have a little Orchid here onto a Batten, but they're just gonna back off. So for now, really nice fight by Alliance. No Monkey ulti is left, no Doom is left, and most importantly, their strongest hero is not on the map anymore.
Indeed, it's not. They can discourage them off the tower a little bit. Oh, there's a courier sitting over there.
Oh, hello, Gem.
There goes the Gem.
Hello, Secret. Okay.
Oh, they have.
Nice.
They
Here we
picked.
go on Mr. Wyvern. He will pick it up. Secret kind of the fact, you know, they do one of the latest tower. Try to force Alliance into a
There's the Doom again over here onto Nico Baby. They try to force staff him out. Doing a lot of damage. They've got that. Lincoln's on him too, but it's just too much damage. As in the backline, Hanskin, he's letting it go. He's got that big ultimate, but it's not going to be anything compared to Matu. As somehow, Nisha, he's still alive. Oh, sorry. Matu in the back lines. 33 trying to fight his way out. They've got the Wukong back up again.
Nice embrace.
In the back line, Fata, he is gonna eventually fall as 33 and Limp trying to run themselves back to that base. Matu still has eyes on him. That tree dance, nice boundless, gonna get dropped down. He turns back around and he's got the Viper Strike. Needs to be careful, that's a decent amount of damage. He does have the cheese though, Matu. Thinking about going back in again. They've got Hanskin who just bought back. The jump forward though coming out from Zai. He stuns him up and they take out the Crystal Maiden. She has died back.
Well, right now it's a 5-on-2 and two of these heroes do not have buyback.
You can see that they're pinging that the repair kit is dropped over on the side too.
Yeah, so right now Viper getting stunned up, bit low on mana. They're gonna to pressure up the cycle right now. They do force the morph buyback. I want to see how Secret responds to this because two of these heroes are still not able to come back into this fight. So overall, it's still a 3-on-5 even with the morph buying back here.
Do you think they should respect this or?
I think they should perhaps take a moment to think about it, but once they have their spells up again, and especially this Arc ulti, I think they want to continue to pressure. Because I don't see how Alliance deal with this. At least Alliance maybe from high range they'll start poking, but for now, as you can see, Secret, they're not afraid.
And look at that, they're just chopping through over in that mid lane, making their way down to bottom, which Matu has already placed a lot of pressure on. Drop the Nether Toxin, try to discourage it, but they can just walk away. Back around the curtain, they've got that nice bubble. There's going to be the stun followed up with the Hex. BKB comes out from Matu as there's just so much damage coming out from Nisha. We'll find a kill. The buyback coming out from Limp. Bubbles placed down again. 33 just charging in here is going to go pop. Borrow time. Zai just focusing down over onto these racks as Nico Baby takes that Monkey King. Tries hiding on the corner. Zai slowly trying to walk himself away from all of this damage that Limp just keeps throwing out on him. Does have a Glimmer Cape though, is going to be able to just walk away.
Well, this is Megas right now for Secret with a 30k lead at the same time. Some buybacks were expended. Actually, not some, all buybacks. Nope, Abba is the only one left who has one, and on Secret they all have theirs left. So right now, they're probably gonna aim to spend their gold right now on Secret. If they want to play it really safe, they could wait for Roche, but I don't really think this is necessary. They can just play with their Mega Creeps now, push into the enemy base with the Arc Warden clone, and just play with the advantage of their buybacks. If they can now trade themselves for the enemies with a 1-for-1 trade, they can just buy back and go straight back to pushing.
Gosh, look at this Tempest double. Just waltzes right on in, almost takes down most of Limp's health.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how strong this Arc Warden is. I must say that I'm pretty impressed with some of these fights that Alliance have been able to take in this game, fighting back with such a strong deficit. I'm kind of want to see if they can do it again, as there's a jump on.
Oh, that's a good pick. Very nicely done. 33, of course, very tanky. I believe he should be able to get out of here, though, in a hurry.
He's totally okay. Secret are probably going to look to group up here, and like I said before, maybe start to pressure the enemy base a bit, unless they're close to some items, as here. We do see Yapsor, he wants to wait for this Mjolnir, he's 40 gold away. So they're going to take a small chill pill. DD is about to run out here on the Monkey Man. As bottom, we have a small jump on Viper. He has no buyback.
That's another good pick off, and there's just too many people here. They're trying. 33, he tries to keep him alive, but he's down, he's gone. There's no buyback on this Viper. So Matu just waltzes on in. The GG just gets called. It just looks like Team Secret, you know, they played this so incredibly well, KZ. You even said it several times. They're positioning the itemization. Just a very nice, clean game coming out from them.
Yeah, no, they played really well. I think especially what mattered in the early game was this mid matchup between the Arc Warden and the Viper. And then the moves they did into this mid lane to pressure, that was really nice. It hurt the Viper's game a lot. And even then, I think later on, once again, I must commend Alliance on their gameplay. They really found some nice pickups and early fights like in the mid-late game, where they found Nisha kind of out of position. And I did see 1, 2, or maybe even 3 curses from Yapster onto the Lincolns. So I do definitely see a comeback and a chance in the next games for Alliance, because I still think even with this big deficit, they were doing pretty well.
Yeah, they definitely showed signs of life, right?
Yeah.
It's not that it was a complete and utter stomp. You saw these moments where they had these flashes of brilliance, and they were able to kind of work their way in, find some sort of objective off of it as well. But in the end, Team Secret, they're one of the best. So we're going to see, though, if we've got a game number 2 coming up very shortly. So when we come back, I'll have more Dota for you.